Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Antonio with another live talk here on Monday morning. And today's topic is going to be about stress management. And again, this is all from the Ayurvedic perspective, the Eastern perspective, and there is some integration with the Western perspective, of course. And so let's talk about this. So, first, it's important to clarify stress in general. And this topic is in reference to general stress. Something like day to day stressors where you have to get up and you have certain tasks that must be accomplished today, whether for work or for home duties or for family duties or friendship duties, self duties, of course. And then, the next level of stress is when these things accumulate in our bodies, in our minds, to an umpth degree and create numerous types of conditions, which can be another stress. So, stress can create conditions, and conditions can add to more stress. It's a vicious cycle. And so, in normal day to day stress, well, first of all, let's look at this from the Ayurvedic perspective with regard to the doshas, or the biological constitutions, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So, in general, the person that has stress that is more of a Vata predominant will have tendencies towards anxiety. And then the Pitta predominant person will have tendencies towards anger, and that's also because Pitta people like to be in control, and so when something is challenging this, they get angry to an excess degree, and it becomes a certain level of sharpness. So sometimes when you notice colleagues or friends or family or anyone that you interact with that's a little sharp, sometimes there's this latent sense of pitta and control and anxiety in their manifestation. And kapha tends towards a certain type of depression or hopelessness or um, lethargy in their responses and things like that, and sort of like, the Eeyore from the Winnie the Pooh cast. And so, in general, stress management, it's important to understand, well, what are your tendencies and what are your triggers and what is it throughout the day that you can put in place to help sustain yourself as best as possible. And if not throughout the day, then what can you do at the end of the day, or what can you do at the beginning of the day in the morning time? And in Ayurveda, as far as dinacharya practices or daily practices, we have certain things in place throughout the day to create a certain level of continuity. And to some degree, morning is very important when we start with a very fresh, clear mind, having rested in an amazing way previously the night before, hopefully, anyway. And waking up with a certain level of calmness, clarity, stillness. And so, waking up in the morning, you can magnify this benefit of this sleep outcome of having rested and taken pause from the previous day by doing certain practices in the morning. Something that's just focusing on brushing your teeth and focusing on um, meditating and doing a yoga practice or a little bit of physical exercise, something that's going to get you in your body, disconnect you from the outer stresses, and really focus and harness your own inner capacity. And, to some degree, there can be an extreme here where sometimes the reset is the pause, the space, the time away from the things or thing that is stressing you. And the opposite is getting distracted by doing something else and very particular that can keep you focused. And in that sense of focus, there's a reset. And in that sense of focus, there's a reset. And the reset is important. This is why we go to sleep at night. This is why we have optimal sleep when we can, because it's a major neurological reset. And it does so many other things to the body, so many benefits for the body. And it's important to really have these things in place because otherwise these stressors accumulate in the body. The body eventually can only handle so much and produce certain, um, you know, feelings of goodness. And then eventually it's no longer feeling good. Then you're feeling achy, or your immune system is dropping, and your digestion is compromised, your sleep is compromised, your energy levels are compromised. All of these things start to look um, obvious to you at certain points. And we can prevent a lot of these things, according to Ayurveda, based on diet and lifestyle, ahara and vihara, and putting meals at regular times throughout the day, making sure the exercise is appropriate for our constitution, and at the appropriate times of day, and making sure that we are eating, that we are sleeping, that we are pooping, that we are peeing, that we are hydrating, and taking time in nature. It's important to connect with nature because that's also a major reset, and it allows us to reset the senses, the nervous system, etc. And if you're not able to go out in nature, then go into your inner nature through meditation. There are lots of meditation practices. Find something out there that can really resonate with your being, your consciousness. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something that you can do consistently every day, hopefully around the same time every day. And this is your investment in yourself. The more you can invest in yourself, the more you'll get out of yourself. The more you get out of yourself, the more you can give to the world. We cannot give what we don't have. And it all starts from how we're taking care of ourselves, self-care. So management of stress. Part of life is stress. There are natural stressors that are just part of life. This is just the way it is. But we can prevent the excess accumulation of this and then notice how it's affecting us, which accumulates in its own different way physiologically, biologically, psychologically, spiritually. And knowing your body types, knowing your constitution, knowing your general tendencies of mind, these are important components. And by stilling yourself, by finding pause, by finding a way to reset and really get to know you is the best way to know you. That's the best, most ultimate primary relationship. When you know yourself more and more, you can have this to share more and more. And working with the stress, working it out, something as simple as just getting a massage. Come get a massage. Go into a yoga practice. Do something that's going to be allowing you to come into your body. Massages are really important. It's not just about luxurious treatments or spa treatments, and it's not just meant for the rich. There's a reason why the kings and queens of old times and people that are at that level are engaging in massage, because it has a very high therapeutic value on immunity, on health, on longevity, things like that. It's important. Make time for a massage. There are places, and Groupon offers specials for people who are giving massages. It's important to get into your body in a complacent way where you're on the table. Yes, you're going to feel ticklish. Yes, you're going to cry, possibly. Yes, you're going to feel tension and tenderness and soreness. But that just shows you as a reflection when you're on a massage table receiving from a wonderful therapist their essence and their presence and their touch, where you're holding your attention. It's not a bad thing. And I promise you, having been a massage therapist for over 25 years, I've seen all types of bodies, thousands of bodies. And I know that that person that comes in initially that tense, that's a little skeptical of touch because their body is that tense and they're not used to that touch, it softens. And every time you can press those same points 6 months later, and it's no longer sharp or tender or radiating or referring or numbing or any of those things. It takes time. At least once a month, if not twice a month, however often you can do it. Allow yourself to just receive. And there are other practices. Spending time with friends and family and dear loved ones that give you a sense of goodness and contentment and happiness. All these little things and big things that we can do to help manage the stress. And we can discuss this further next week in a talk as far as diet and maybe even some potential herbs in a general sense. And if you really would like to get on top of your own process of stress and managing it much better, feel free to private message me. I'm always open to working with new patients, and all my patients are enjoying the process of the journey that we have together and are thriving, and I look forward to hearing from you. And have a great week. Don't forget that I also do these weekly yoga classes at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays. Until next time, have an amazing, stress-free, stress-reduced, stress-managed day.